Wait, what episode? Do you know?
28. Well, hey everybody, welcome to Ask a Webop. This is episode 28. I'm Kelsey again. And
I'm Taylor.
And today we're going to talk about a couple things.
Yes.
We've got a lot on the agenda today. So we kind of want to go with some questions that we've been getting. And the first one is talking about, we've been talking a lot about how Snapchat is one of those things that's like the next big thing, and a lot of companies are starting to use it, and it's something that's really interactive for everybody.
Yeah.
But we want to talk about, besides Snapchat, like what are the other things?
Yeah.
What is the next big
thing?
So
let's say the question. This is from Danny from Twitter, and he said, besides Snapchat, what do you think is the next emerging platform?
Yeah.
And before we actually get into what we think is the next emerging platform, I do want to talk about Snapchat because it really is the next thing, and it's still not mainstream yet. It's really on the cusp of what I think blowing up, which is really good. So if you can be consistent on Snapchat, you can find a unique audience that you can reach on Snapchat, definitely get on it because that is the new shiny object right now.
Snapchat is such a great way to be really creative and interactive.
Exactly.
We were just talking about Taco Bell's Snapchat because we just when a lot of people just tap on the Snapchat, but they made it to where when you tap, like you were kind of guiding a person to do things while you were tapping, and just
it was like a game.
Yeah, it's like a game. Like there's so much room for creativity with Snapchat. So besides that, as far as emerging things, I guess this isn't really something that's emerging, but we were talking about how for a while I kind of feel like Instagram and like Snapchat and other things were kind of taking over Facebook.
Right.
Like Facebook was still there and people were using it, but a lot of other options were being explored. But we want to talk about how Facebook is really like reworking their, how they're getting engagement and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they just change up their, I guess, I don't know what you want to call it. Like they change up
usability.
Yeah, usability a lot, which kind of keeps people on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to go into this more later, but if you haven't seen it yet, they have released like the reactions. So now instead of just like, there's wow, angry, a couple other ones.
Yeah.
So
they have Facebook Live, which we're doing right now, as well as filming our episode. They also have rolled out new notes. So I don't know if you remember years ago, they had notes and people were using it like a blog. They've revamped that completely, so it has a completely new professional look. They're just keep reinventing the wheel, honestly, and they're keeping you engaged. So stay consistent with Facebook, keep going, and use those new capabilities to your advantage.
Yeah, definitely. So the next question that we're going to go over is from Jake. And he wanted to know about Anchor. So, if you haven't heard of Anchor yet, I guess, Taylor, you want to explain Anchor a little bit more?
I can explain Anchor. So Anchor is like personal podcasts. Let me go with the question. So Jake asks, what are the top 3 ideas for how a professional communicator should use Anchor? And like I said, Anchor is the new podcasting thing. It's audio only, which is really cool for people who don't want to be all about their face on Snapchat or Facebook Live or things like that. So it's just audio, and you put out 2 minutes of content, and then you can actually interact with people with a 1-minute reply, as well as you can push it out to all different platforms. So it's very, very good integrated with Twitter, Facebook. I don't think you can really integrate with Instagram because it's visual, of course. But it's really, really great for professionals. So he's asking, what are 3 ideas how a professional can really use this? And the first thing that we want to say is talk about what people are not talking about. So don't talk about what you do. So let's say you are a speaker, you're a public speaker. Don't talk about what you do, or don't even talk about the talks that you would be giving. Talk about how you prep for your talks, or let's go a different direction. Let's say you're a landscaper. Don't talk about the work you do for landscaping. Talk about how you're creating culture within your landscape company. That's like what people are doing, really. They're talking more about what they do versus like how they do things versus what they do.
Yeah, and you can be very creative with sounds. We were talking about how, a lot of the ones we've been seeing are just people like capturing sound bites of their office or other spaces.
Exactly.
Like if they're in a certain city, then they capture certain sounds of that city and stuff like that. So even though it's not visual and there's not pictures, like there's still a lot of room to be creative. It's kind of set up like a Twitter feed, so it's very interactive.
Exactly.
So that's what we really have been liking about Anchor. So
Yeah. So get out there. I mean, it's a no-brainer for people who are professionals. So whether you are a leader or a public speaker, like we even said, even if you're an owner of a landscape company, jump on this new platform called Anchor. It's only like 2 weeks old, and just get your feet wet. Start talking.
Yeah. I love it. So the next point, and this is something, like I said, we were going to go back to earlier, which was talking about these Facebook reactions that came out and kind of what they can do for your business in particular. So like we said, instead of just like now, you can do, you can love it. There's, you can be angry, wow, haha. Like there's so many different options now.
I love it.
Yeah, I really do like it. And I think something that I had read that was interesting was that, for a long time, people were asking why there wasn't like a dislike button.
Exactly.
And it's because that's just not the kind of environment that Facebook wanted to create. So I feel like this is kind of pleasing the people that wanted that, but in a way that also works for Facebook.
It's also positive.
Right.
Which I think I agree with you. And I think that going back to business pages, there's a lot of value. You can actually see what people are liking and not liking on your page. So use it to data mine, honestly. Yeah. Use it to your advantage. And ask people. Like, we're going to ask you now. If you like this video, like it. If you love it, tell us, love it. And if you're laughing at us, we want to also know that too.
So if you're a business and you get like love it on something, like that's just a tell all to you that that's something that you need to keep doing. People like that. So it's going to help you a lot with your content. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much. Keep asking questions. And like I said, if you love this video, let us know.
All right. I think that concludes it. We'll see you next time.